Greetings and salutations, dear viewers. Today we're going to be taking a quick look at Holy Potatoes. What the heck? So this is a game made by Daylight Studios. This is the third game that they've made in the Holy Potatoes line. Daylight Studios tends to focus on mobile games, so this is a port of a mobile game as far as I know. Or at the very least, it is a made simultaneously or with mobile in mind. So keep that in mind. With that said, though, I've actually been kind of interested in some of the Holy Potatoes games up until now, and I thought this would be a neat one to take a look at as soon as it was just released recently, back in October. I think early October. But, let's just take a look at it and see where we go from there. I will say that even for being a kind of a vague mobile feeling to it, even just as a desktop game, I still had fun playing it. The kitchen. So let me tell you straight up from the start, when you get into this game, you're getting into this game for pop culture references and potato puns. Just giving you a heads up. Not like memes, but pop culture. So we were a chef. It says press space to continue. You can also just click. Now, admittedly, I think the story and just these little interactions here are probably one of the more enjoyable parts to the game. And I was a little bit sad that once the game started kind of kicking in and they just gave you the chance to play more, I was a little bit sad we weren't getting these little cutscenes quite as often. Alright, so you get to name yourself and your restaurant. You can also edit your flag. Of course, Sweeney Tots is the default. I'm gonna be Tofu Muffin. My restaurant is going to be Cool Beans. So you can change your flag, you can do whatever you want to, you can add a bunch of stuff to it. You can click on stuff and get smaller. Add more stuff to it. Make that yellow, make it bigger. Got that little one on the inside. Make it a little bit bigger, drag it down. And let's make that background something a little more... a little darker. Good enough, it pops. So you can also add text, and you've got a bunch of neat things you can add over here, and as you play the game, you actually unlock more things to add to your flag, and there are even ways to not like real money buy, but like buy more things to put in. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So there's our flag. You shut up, it's my name and I like it. Tammy Broccoliver. Eh. D-A-E-D. Dead. So kind of the general idea of the whole game is you died, you made your way down to hell, and we have to cook. Ah. Every now and then you get one of these, like, there's no text up, but you have to press a button in order to advance anyway. And I feel like it should just be after a delay the text comes up, but that's like the smallest of small stuff. I mean, potatoes are alright. I mean, that's true. Can't send everybody to everybody the horrible, horrible place when they have minor misdemeanors at best. Yes, I am indeed me. Hi. Dante. And Vigil? Was it Vigil? Dante? Megasaurus Rexor! Just a little. I mean, suddenly I'm in the afterlife cooking. Ah! I feel like she just gave us a tour of the kitchen, but we didn't actually go to the kitchen. Not at all. So of course we're going to start out with not only a little bit of story placing us here, but also, sure. So you guys see what's going on. This guy is going to do effectively be our tutorial guy. So the idea, the general idea is we have to make food for gods. But in order to make food, we need ingredients, and we make ingredients by turning souls into it. And we do that with the Pit of Judgment. So you click on that, and this thing will open up over here. And I think what's super charming is there's this different little line about why they're here for every single one of them. And I feel like they're almost randomly generated, but not quite. Okay, but it's just neat being able to see like all the stupid little things that come up for each one of the guys. And then you have your 4 elements stats, statistics that go to each one. And we've got to torture the evil out of them. So you can see right here, this basic fryer requires a minimum. You can only put requires a minimum malice stat of 50 in order to get put in here, and you'll get a blue piece of food out of it. Very color coded. So since we're sorting this guy, if we click on this, he goes in. And now he's cooking right in there. So it's the same thing with red, yellow, green. So we see red requires minimum red. Yellow requires minimum yellow. Green requires minimum green. This guy got a pretty high red. So the only one we could put him in is red. Pretty high yellow. So you killed your uncle. Some of these guys are problems. So, I do feel like the tutorial doesn't make it quite as obvious about how much control you have over when time is passing, but you have all the time in the world to do everything you need to do. Like, you only need to advance time when you want to advance time, so you never really need to feel pressured because of that. But because we have these 4 guys in these fryers, it takes a little bit of time to make them into food. So you gotta wait a minute for them to finish cooking and pop on out. They did it! So you went and paused time for us while they popped out. And we see we got 1 of each because we had 1 of each in there. Alright, well, green. Yellow. Blue. Red. Oh. Normally when you're sorting, you can pause time. I don't know why they didn't let you pause time during the tutorial, or during that part of the tutorial, but I feel like that's part of why I felt super pressured early on, but don't worry about it, you have all the time in the world. Hey, who's this guy? Okay, so he wants potato soup. So in order to make that, we gotta click on the stove. Gotta make some potato soup right here. And it's not going to be super important early on, but you want to keep an eye on how long the guys are waiting. You don't want to keep them waiting too long. You in red, you go in green. I can't put you back in red. I can't put you in anything. Okay, so once we're done cooking that for them, we just click on them. Click on the thing we want to give them, present distribute. As we make the gods happy, we get favor. And favor lets us do some fancy things, like, just for the tutorial, we have to get 20 favor by the end of the day. Which we did because we made the 1 food. You're facing away from the camera. How are we going to take a good picture when you're facing away from the camera? Okay, that's a little better, I guess. Okay, I don't think it matters what you do. I'm gonna use a potato dog filter. Yeah, I don't think it matters at all what you choose. And that's right. This potato is the Loki. I mentioned pop culture references, and this is straight up. Like, obviously from Norse mythology, but, like, just looking at how they designed him and how they modeled him, like, it's Marvel's Loki. Oh, man. Cool beans! Hmm. So something else I was... Oh, new items for our logo. Something else I was concerned about was that we would have a whole lot of guys coming in and we'd quickly get overwhelmed, but that's not really the case at all. So now that we're in stage 2, I guess, where this is no longer a tutorial, we get to actually, like, do things as we want to do them, and we get to see real gameplay, so let's go ahead and run through a day of this. So every day starts with prep time. So you have one rotation around the clock just to make ingredients and make stuff beforehand if you want to. So you got a high yellow, so let's put you in yellow, blue, red, and green. Time is paused for all of that. And then once all of these are good to go, you can hit space and let them cook. And then as soon as they're done cooking, pause again, and you can start sorting again. So let's see, that was blue, green, red, yellow. And then let them go again. Like, again, you have all the time in the world. You only have to worry about progressing time when you want to. Green, yellow, red. And lunchtime. Now that lunchtime is here, our friend Loki down here is going to start actually requesting food, and he wants a bowl of boiled potatoes. So if you want to see what recipes you have, you click on this thing up here. You can see all the recipes. Go find boiled potatoes, boiled potatoes. You can also click on the oven, but I prefer using the little menu up here, because you can click on the Pit of Judgment, or you can click on this icon here. So I prefer clicking on these, but I don't know, do whatever you want, you have options. So bowl of potatoes, click on it. This is going to use 2 reds in order to cook. You can see we have 3 reds, so we're good on that. But we're going to want to keep making ingredients. So cook, and now you can see we're not only doing all of those, but we're also cooking. And our dish is done, hooray. So pause time real quick because our dish is done, so I'm gonna click on Loki and give him his food. And then, since all these finished, we gotta toss new people in. Yellow, red, green. Sometimes it may not even out, and like you've put 3 dudes in 3 of them, and the last one you just don't have somebody that fits in. Like I'd put these 3 in, and the last one is a yellow, and the yellow is like, they have a yellow stat of like 20, so you can't put them in that masher. And that's fine, and later on you'll start to get more ways to deal with that issue. But right now you just kind of have to wait it out. But we got something and everything. And after a moment, Loki will order something else. Wants a bowl of boiled potatoes. We gotta go back and make some more boiled potatoes. Those are done, so back to this. Now he's asking for something pretty steady right now. Undressed in front of an orangutan. Okay. Dish done, so give him his food. Now, it starts out with him always requesting set things. He wants mashed potato balls. But eventually you'll start seeing stuff. Like, all he wants is a dish that contains yellow. And this is where it gets kind of neat, because you can start managing your own ingredients. Like, he wants one that has yellow, but he doesn't care what the other ingredient is. So you'll look and go like, well, I have a lot of green, so I'll go get one that has a yellow and a green. So it'll be yellow-green. So I'd make him a potato sandwich. So you start to be able to manage your ingredients that way. And something else that we may not get to until a little bit later Let's see, green, blue, red, yellow. Something else we probably won't get to today, but I'll at least speak on it. Oh, and as you make stuff for them, they will even level up, and that gives you kind of permanent buffs. Like station processing time, minus 2%. French fries! French fries. And to get into this, get blue, get green, yellow. Ooh, I don't have a place for you. So I just have to wait. I'm falling behind on red. And I don't like it. There's not much else I can do right now other than fall behind on red. Okay, you want some more mashed potatoes? Mashed potato balls. Okay, now that we're opened up again, I can get rid of you and put red there. Then we go green, and dang it, I gotta fall behind on blue. Give you that. Keep going. We're all done. You want more mashed potato balls? Okay, he just wants more mashed potato balls. You never really know what they're going to order. So it's hard to, like, make things in advance, so you just have it ready for them. And honestly, you're probably never going to have downtime where you're just, like, cooking whatever, though I suppose if you wanted to, you could cook something before the... Yeah, red and blue are my priorities. So I always look to make sure I see the little dot 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 next to anything. That tells me everything is done. Okay, so last order. At this point, you have a lot of time. Not like, you don't have infinite time, but you have a lot of time in order to finish any orders present. So we can see he wants mashed potatoes balls, so we'll put that up. And that finishes up. So if he still had an order he wanted, you can spend some time before giving it to him. Okay, so here we have this, like, 30 money units things. We won't be able to use that for a while. Oink. Oink. What oinks? Ah! Oh, well, at least he's nice and doofy looking. I kind of just want to name him Bacon. I'm going to name him Bacon. I'm sure the pun was bacon, but... Well, we own a bat pig now. I don't know if he was free reign to get, but we own one now. So I'll probably run through one more little run-through just to see if they teach you about one thing or another, and after that I'll tell you at least about what I ran into. Alright, so they're actually going to teach us about the shop. Now, this is kind of neat. I did, didn't I? There we go. Okay, so as I said before, as you make dishes for the people, you get favor. Favor can actually be spent like a currency. It's not the starch that we got before. That's actually used for something else. Favor, instead, can be used to buy stations. So you can see the one we have will never produce good quality food. It only produces okay quality food. But we buy this deep fryer level 2, and if I give them a mouths of greater than or equal to 70, I'll get a good quality food. So all the better. Oh yeah, that was where he gave us the station processing time down. Okay, so I can't actually buy this right away because they're all cooking, but I'll just wait for them to finish cooking. Otherwise, there's not a lot I can do right now because they're cooking and I don't have to make any food, so let's just wait a minute. And they're done! Okay, so I am really far behind on red, but I have a lot of green. Well, red and blue, but I'm behind on green. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the shop, and I'm going to buy this good quality one, and I'm going to replace my green. So now I have 2 blues, but cannot produce green. Now, do not fret, my green is not gone forever, because right here is storage, and my green is still in here. So this way, I can just double up on blue until I get a little caught out, my numbers get a little more even, and then I can put the green back out. So with that done, let's sin some sinners. So red is important, green is... No, blue is very important, and I can get a good quality one with that one. Let's see here, yellow and blue again. We just go for a little while. Okay, so with that done, we can put red in you, yellow in you. I'll go ahead and put blue in you. And even though this isn't because this one requires greater than or equal to 70 to get good, I can still put this blue in here, because the minimum blue requirement is still 50. So that one's done, so I can plop you in there. It does take just a little bit longer. There we are, dish containing yellow. And then this is another way to make your ingredients level out more, is I'll take a yellow and a green, because I got a lot of yellow and green. What was that, the sandwich? Yellow and green. And I can also put you guys in, so... Oh, this one just finished as I paused, so let's put you in there, blue in there. I don't have a green out, and I can't put a yellow or red out. But if I still wanted to cook this guy, what I could do is head up here and take my green and put it out in place of that yellow. And you can start doing a lot of really fancy shuffling about of these in order to make sure you're producing ingredients as efficiently as possible. Okay, give you your tribute. And then we wait again. Dish containing red. So I don't have many red, but I still have a lot of green. So let's go for red and green. Ah, there we are, red and green, cook. Okay, so now that this is done, I do not need green, so I'm gonna go back to trying to put a yellow out here. Oh, I gotta do this to put it out. So we're back to that, still need reds, more than anything, and I need yellows. So important to keep them out. And if I check the shop, these things are only 50 units. So I'm just gonna buy a bunch right now. Put down that red so we get better reds. And I'll put down a yellow so I get better yellows. Then we'll go back to the sorting. I can put you in red, you in yellow. I don't need as many blues anymore. So I'm going to take the... What do I need? Reds. Okay, so we see the dot 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 on most of them, so I just need to put a red in you, and then we wait. And now that one's done. Alright. Nope, wrong button. Okay, so you are blue, you can go in there. Right, we are indeed cooking, so we're just waiting on that. Red finishes up, more red goes in. Other red finishes up, as does yellow. I can't get a good quality out of either of these. But it'll get the job done. That's done, so we can go down here and give you your tribute. That blue's done, and we're starting to even out. I've got enough blues at this point, so I think I'm going to put our green back out. Yeah, I do not have a level 2 green yet. So blue's gone while red catches up. Probably just a 1 or 2 more reds, and I'll put a blue back out, so we're producing them all evenly again. In the meantime, we can go in here, and the only one I have is green. I guess you're going to have to go in there. And then he wants a yellow. Now, okay, so yellow and blue. So I need a yellow and blue. Cool. Okay, so red's done, so I'll go ahead and put my level 2 blue back out. And we're more or less getting even, so I'll just keep producing them all evenly for now. And blue can go in blue, and then we keep going. So I like that they give you multiple ways to keep your ingredients even. And if you want to micromanage more to make sure of that, you can. Okay, so we got his food. Take your food. Okay, dish containing blue. Well, we're even on everything, so I can kind of do whatever I want to do. So let's go blue and green. Now, you'll notice since I'm producing goods from a lot of these now, the ingredients down here say good and okay. Now, putting good ingredients in is better to do. Gets you more stats from your guy. A lot of good, just generally better. It ranks higher too, and eventually in his requirements, they will also give a rank requirement. Like he'll say, dish containing blue, and it's gotta be at least a D+. So, we're looking at blue, let's go blue and green. Blue and green. Blue and green. And then we can also put more food in the food holes. So yellow can go, green can go, red can go. And blue can go. Hey! So let's give you that. And now that green's done, we have enough money to buy the level 2 green. And then he wants something containing yellow. Yeah, let's go yellow and red. Yellow and red. And then put our duders back in. Now you see this little icon here next to the tower in the middle? That means you're running low on sinners to turn into ingredients. Once you run out, right now there's not a lot you can do, but we have like more than enough ingredients to get us pretty much anywhere at this point. And you can snowball those ingredients up if you want. So let's put you in red, put you in green, and you in yellow. And you in blue. Now, it only does this every time you make a dish for the very first time. Otherwise, it just has a little pop-up off to the side that said, hey, this thing is done cooking. And we've done it! There's the end of the day! You saw the little timer up in the corner go down, and it closed up, and we are done and good. So just to speak a little bit about what else that there is for you in the game, you do get more customers. I think you get a new customer every chapter. So by the end of the game, you're going to have like 7 odd people down there in order that you have to feed. There are multiple power-ups that you can get for the... or upgrades you can get for the various cooking devices. Some of them will cook faster, some of them will have a better chance at higher quality food, some of them will give high quality food if you get like if you put in like a 40 to 60, and there's a 50% chance that you just get a bonus food, like a bonus ingredient out of it, which is really neat. And I've only scratched the surface of where you go in this game. I don't know what a lot of the later stages are going to have it in store for you. But you get at least that. There are going to be multiple cook stations, so you're not restricted to cooking just one thing at a time. At least I'm pretty sure, anyway. And then there's the starch, which... between levels, between courses, I guess, kind of now, roundabout, you're given the option to buy things with starch. And these are all temporary power-ups. Just things like your next 20 dishes will have a slightly higher quality to them. And these go into kind of a consumables tab that you can click on and use when you think you need it. So you just hold on to that for as long as you need, and then as soon as you think, hey, this would be cool right now, use it. Oh no. I wonder what these two came in here for. I feel like we may learn what, middle dude came in here for later on, but, like, why did you come in? Oh dear. I don't know what you two are doing to help me out. And that just takes us back to work where we start another day. I'm gonna call it here, but I'm actually having a lot of fun with this, and I think one of the most important things for me, and kind of why I stressed it so much early on, is just how much control you have over time. Because you don't have to feel pressured in order to perform tasks quickly. Like, you don't have to feel like, oh, I've got to put these guys in the middle out so fast to get everything done. Like, no, you can take your time. You can approach everything as you want to approach it, only let time pass when you want to let time pass. I think it's going to be neat to see the more guys that show up, the more stations you get, just how much more elaborate it all gets. Because I've personally only seen the beginning of this, but there's a lot more going on here than I thought. A couple things I have not... Oops. A couple things I have not mentioned are, because we've seen all these 4 tabs up here. These remaining 2, this one on the left is for researching new recipes. So you have to actively go in there and research to be able to cook something new. And they emphasize that it's important that you do this because the guests will potentially request one of those items. And if they request it, and you can't make it, you're a little out of luck. I haven't had any trouble with that yet, though. I've been able to research everything, get it all done before it was any trouble at all. This 4th one, I don't actually know yet. But regardless, this game so far has been super charming. I've really enjoyed the humor of it. Probably at the end of this next cook day, if I wanted to play through it, I think you get to meet, Gordon Yamsi, which is pretty awesome. I don't know. I'm having fun with the game. I really enjoy the humor of the game. I'm excited to see where it goes, and I like that it's not even a huge amount of pressure, and that they give you a lot of control over, as much as you want, over swapping everything around so you're cooking what you want to cook and how much you want to cook, so you can keep your ingredients as even as possible. I think it's neat. I like it. Until next time, everybody, this has been Holy Potatoes! What the heck?